Hello, welcome back. It's another week has gone. It's like the beginning of July still. Seems to be going quite slowly. But anyway, today we will be talking about all the books we read in June. So this is our June wrap up. I read 8 books. I'm only going to be talking about 7 because 1, I don't even have it with me to show you guys, and 2, it's a reread and it's like everyone's already read it anyway, so I don't really feel like I need to talk about it. So the first book we read in June, it's July now, June, was The X Talk by Rachel Lynn Solomon. This book was actually really cute. It was like super funny as well, but I think the characters were like so likable and easy to sort of like connect with, and there were some parts like when she was talking about her dad that was just, it felt so emotional, and like, I don't know, I feel like their lives just sort of, it was just very easy to sort of like them. But basically this one is about a girl works at a radio station, so does the boy, but he's like recently started, and their boss is very like, what's the word, prefers boys over girls, you know what I mean? Like, I can't think of what the word is. Sexist, is that it? Sexist? But anyway, so he basically like lets him do whatever he wants, and like always says to him, oh, like, yeah, that was great, and then he's just like either ignores her or goes, yeah, good work. But it's very like, there's a lot of other little things like that that make the book that much more likable, because like you can see like how easy it is for that to happen in real life as well. But basically they pretend to be exes, and then they have to spend loads of time together to get to know each other because of that, because they're doing it for a radio show, because basically their radio station is like going under, so they like want to bring new ideas in, and they didn't have the time to like actually bring in new people who were actually exes, so they get told they have to pretend to be exes, and it goes really well until the board decides they don't like it, and they basically like out them, and then it goes like horribly wrong for the show and their relationship. But the ending is very cute. I really liked it. It was so funny as well. I just feel like her personality is so funny. It was just like certain things that she said, and like how she said them, and like what she was thinking, just like absolutely hilarious. Like I literally was just loving it the whole time. So I did give this one like a 4.5 stars. It was very close to 5 stars, but I just feel like it was missing something. As much as I have nothing to actually say was wrong with it, like it was amazing. It was so funny, so cute, so just like such an easy, nice read. There was just like something missing, if that makes sense, to like push it up that extra half star. And you'll be proud to know that I have actually written a review for it. I think I've done quite well this month with that. So the second book I read is the one I'm not going to talk about, but I'm just gonna, you know, like let you know I read it this month. I have previously read it, so like I didn't rate it or anything because I've like previously done that. I think I just put in my journal, like, I don't even know, I just put reread. But I read A Court of Thorns and Roses again by Sarah J Maas. I did it as a buddy read with my friend, and then because she's just graduated from university and I work full time, she outread me, and she's already read the whole Throne of Glass series, which I wanted to read with her, but it's fine. yeah, so she's already finished. She read ACOTAR twice, like the whole series. She read that twice because she didn't feel like she was ready to go into Throne of Glass. And I was like, no, you just got to do it because it will be better. And she was like, nothing's going to top it. And I was like, my whole side, like, of my body says differently. It's the, like, best series I've ever read. Like, I got it tattooed on my body. So, yeah. So I was really wanting to read that with her, but it got to the point, I was in such a reading slump at the beginning of June that I just sort of, like, I hadn't read anything. And I basically, like, forced myself to read ACOTAR with her. And then, like, I've still got the second one on my bedside table. I'm only at the beginning of chapter 5 still, so it's not going well. But I sort of decided if I'm going to read, I might as well read my June TBR. So that is the second book I read in June. I then read The Paradise Problem, and again, okay, I haven't done the review for this one, but again, this one was really funny, really cute. I just really liked, like, everything about it. I liked how they were so different, but also I feel like the amount of issues there were and, like, how everything came out, it was just like, I was, like, on the edge of my seat, like, for the whole, like, second half, I would say. Probably more, because she probably goes, no, look, so they get to the island, like, here, so probably, like, all of that, I was like, oh my god, what's gonna happen, something's gonna go wrong. But it was really nice. It was a really nice, easy read. This would probably be an amazing book to read, like, on that actual holiday, because, like, even I was reading it here, I was like, just feel like I'm, like, on holiday on an island with them somewhere, and it was, like, so nice because it like actually sort of, like, transformed you into the place where they were, and you could, like, see it in your mind. Like, it was just so good. But that's just Christina Lauren's writing for you. And I will say, and I've said this before, every book of hers that I read, I love her more. But I've got that one got a 4-star, but I have already given it to my mum. I took it back for this video, but I've already given it to my mum. She's going on holiday next week, so she's going to take it on holiday with her. That's the third book. Didn't read, I mean, I suppose I did read quite a few. Malibu Rising. This was my book of the month. I'm putting that out there now. So I'm not a major fan of, like, normal, like, general like, fiction books, like literature fiction. I enjoy some, like, classics and, like, some other sort of books similar. I did like this one. I read this one, Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo, and I absolutely loved it. I read that last year. This is only my second book by her because I'm always a bit worried to try and read general, like, literature fiction book. But I absolutely loved it. I loved every second. I could not put it down. As much as it is my book of the month, it did not get 5 stars. I don't think anything got 5 stars this month. I was a bit... No, nothing got 5 stars in June. So I was a bit picky. But I felt like if any of them were going to get 5 stars, it would be this one. I loved everything about it. I loved all the characters. I loved all the issues they had. I loved that they were all the characters were like a family. And I loved seeing their problems and issues in real time, and also what happened to them in their childhood, but also what happened, like, with their parents. I wish Mick had not been a bit of a doofus, and just stayed with their mum, because they were, like, a super cute couple. And obviously if they had stayed together, none of, like, this would have happened, probably. I say probably, it wouldn't have happened, but I don't know, I just loved everything about it. Yeah, so much so that I may even, like, reread it at some point in the future. but this was so nice to read. It's a bit longer to read. It did take me a bit longer. I say it took me a bit longer. It only took me like 3 days. But I imagine if I wasn't so like obsessed with it, it would have taken me a bit longer. And also I read it over Father's Day, so I would kind of read it to ignore my family. But yeah, so this I really would recommend this book. If you like her other books, or if you like Sally Rooney's books, this is like so much better. I am gonna read, I've got some more of her books now, so I'm gonna read them in due course. And speaking of Sally Rooney, I read Normal People. I read it. This was a gift from a friend because she spoiled the series. Now, initially, I hated this book. I read the whole thing. I mean, I wouldn't say hate is a bit of a strong word. I disliked it. I did not enjoy reading it. I don't like her punctuation. It makes it so hard for me to read and understand what the hell is going on. I feel like the actual story was quite a good idea. Just did not enjoy it, and it's really annoying because I did not enjoy it. I had to message my friend who bought it for me, and I was like, I'm so sorry to say this, but like, I don't even think I can finish this book. I did finish it, but again, she has no endings. Like, what happened? Like, this is one of the main things that makes me like really not like her books. I mean, I've only read 2 of them, but it just ends, but there's no like ending. You don't know what happened. You don't know how anything, like, how anyone like ends up, if they end up together or what. So then I watched the programme on BBC. It was so bad. So they like changed so much stuff, and also I just did not enjoy the characters that they chose for Connell and Marianne. That's not who I was like picturing in my head at all. Like I always say this, and I wouldn't be able to give you people who would have suited it better, but I was not happy with the selection, basically. So there's that as well. And then we read Love and Gelato. So all of these were on my TBR. So you guys, if you don't want like my opinions and you just want like a sort of brief explanation of what they're about, you can look at my June TBR video, although I'm not entirely sure I did a very good job at describing them in that video. But yeah, so this one, basically her mum dies, she goes to Italy to live with her father. This was such a cute book. I really enjoyed it. I'm just gonna drink some coffee before it gets cold. I always do that. I make a coffee just before I start recording to like drink, and then I record like the whole thing, and by the time I finish, my coffee is cold. I don't know if I'm the only person who does that, but and we all know I like a cold coffee, but not when it's meant to be a hot one, you know. It's a bit different like having an iced coffee than having a cold hot coffee. But anyway, yeah, this one was really cute. I really liked it. The only thing I'm really annoyed about is like it's crunched. See what I mean? I don't know if you can see it. It's got like a massive bend in it. And I obviously did it. Like, it's been on my shelf for a while, but I think I must have done it like at some point between the moving or changing bookshelves, but it really annoyed me. Like the whole time. But there's nothing to do with the actual book. It was so cute. I loved the descriptions of everything, and honestly it really makes me want to go to Italy. I don't know. I really liked it. It was kind of like a mystery as well as a romance. And I really liked the scenery, and I think like the fact that he lived in a cemetery had like a really nice touch, because it was like such like a surprise, and she was just like, I'm not living here. But I don't know, I think the whole thing was really cute. There's not really much I can say about why it was cute without spoiling quite a lot of the book. I don't really know how to say it without giving you like major spoilers, but I would like 100% recommend this book. I did only give this one a 4 stars, but I do kind of feel like some bits were a bit like cheesy, and it just felt like, as much as it was like so unique in like where it was set and what had happened, I don't know, I felt like it was kind of a bit similar to just like a general romance book, which, okay, fair enough, it is. I know you already go in, but it is a romance book. It is, but I feel like they could have done more with the fact that her mum died. Or, do you know what? I think the main thing is that they could have done more with the actual like romance half, because it's a romance book, but they sort of like, and don't get me wrong, this is the part I loved. I did love the fact that it kept going back to her mum and like her story, and like she was trying to figure out who her dad is and like why Howard didn't seem to know certain things that were in her mum's journal. But I feel like they could have done a bit more of the actual her romance, because like they just kind of worked together, and then all of a sudden it was like, oh yeah, I love you, I'm staying in Italy for you. But you know, that's just me. I just spoiled the whole book as well. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so I gave that one a 4 stars. I then read, almost at the end, I then read Not in Love by Ali Hazelwood. This book, I love it so much that I like, it actually like genuinely made a bookmark for it. Like, I'm in love with it. It didn't get 5 stars. Didn't. Nothing got 5 stars. But I really liked this book. I actually liked it so much that I don't even want to talk to you about it. It's mine. It's in my heart. It's in my head. No. But it was like really cute, and I liked the fact, again, there was issues that made like the whole thing a bit complicated, and then there was like past stuff from both of their pasts that made neither of them like want a relationship, which was why they met in the first place. But I don't know, at the same time I feel like he could have been less like alpha male-y, and it still would have been, I think it would have been a bit, like, it would have been like a nicer book to read, because at some points, like even like when he first met her, when you got his point of view when they first met, he was very like, oh, I want to protect her, I don't really know why. And I'm like, why can't you just be like, oh, he's being like a bit of a rude man, I'm gonna get in there. And not like, I don't know, I just felt like some of it was a bit cheesy and a bit like over the top, considering he didn't want a relationship, and then all of a sudden he literally went from like 0 to 1,000 wanting a relationship, and she was like, I don't want you. And then all the stuff happened, she was like, I definitely didn't want you, but then she ended up wanting him anyway. It was really cute. I did like it. I liked all of the characters, to be honest. I even liked, what's her name? I even liked her friend, the one who like stole everyone's work. Like as a character, not as like what she did. I didn't enjoy that, but I think it made everything, I don't know, I feel like it like sort of tied everything together, having her in there and doing that sort of stuff, because you needed like someone like that in there, I think, because everyone else was just really nice. And then there was like the friendship group like problems, where they had been Miami, or however you say it, Miami, I don't know how you say her name, but in Eli's group there was him, 2 other boys and a girl, and one of the boys and the girl were like together for ages, and then they broke up, and then she ended up getting married to the other one, although he only joined the group because they got married, but still he like still loved her, and it's like a whole dynamic, and I feel like that made made everything like a bit more interesting as well, because you had like that sort of issue and dynamic in that group that everyone was like dealing with on like a day-to-day, as well as everything else that was going on. So the last book I read in June was Tangled Up in You by Christina and Lauren. So this book, okay, I'm gonna be honest, this book was like a solid 3.5 star for me the majority of the way through. Now don't get me wrong, I absolutely loved it. It was so funny. I loved the characters. I felt like her like naivety to the world was like, it didn't sort of make it like annoying to read. Like, in some people when they do like characters like this, it's just a bit like, oh come on, like you've got to at least know that, you know. But I feel like because you understood her background like a lot, it didn't feel like that, and it was just like really cute, and it made everything like so much more magical. Like, I wouldn't imagine going to like college or uni and like seeing like the campus and being like, oh my god, it's amazing. Like, don't get me wrong, my uni campus is like it's just like a couple of buildings on a main road. But I imagine if I had like a college like they do in America, it might be a bit different, but it is what it is. But I just feel like her reactions to stuff made everything feel so much like more magical and more like alive, because it was like her first time seeing it, and it made it feel so much more special. And I also liked the fact that it had like hints of like Rapunzel and like Tangled, which is probably why it's called Tangled Up in You. Her hair is not actually that long, it's just like bum length, I think, from what I understood. But yeah, I don't know, I really enjoyed it. And then at the end it was such a plot twist. Like, I would go so far as even saying it was a genre twist. And as much as like I know quite a lot of people probably wouldn't like that because it's meant to be a cute little romance book, it was a cute little romance book, but then having this extra little thing in the book, like genuinely I was like, oh my god. And like I could not put it down. I was like, what's gonna happen? I literally was like eating like this, like I could not even put it down. And it genuinely, it made the whole thing so much more exciting, but it also made more sense. Like it I don't know, it tied up so many like questions that you could have had about like her upbringing and her family. But yeah, I actually really liked it. And do you know what, it was actually very hard to pick my book of the month between this one and Malibu Rising, but I went on the fact that this one was only so close because of that extra little plot twist at the end. Whereas if it hadn't have had that, it probably wouldn't have been rated like nearly as high, because like I enjoyed it, don't get me wrong, it was a really nice easy book to read, but at the same time I was a bit disappointed purely because it was Christina Lauren and I was expecting like high things. I was a bit disappointed for like the majority of the book. Like, I did really enjoy it, I loved all of the descriptions, I loved the characters, I loved the plot as well, but then the end, like that extra little bit, just it did it. It pushed it up to like a 4.5. So yeah, I mean, that might be, it's probably just me, because I feel like a lot of people will be like, this shouldn't be in here because it's meant to be like a fluffy little romance book, but like that made the book for me. And then, I mean, that is all I read technically in June, but I did start the Ren and the Holly Library, which was on my TBR. Didn't finish it in June though, so you're not gonna get a review of that one. I just thought I'd let you know I pretty much did my whole TBR and my whole June TBR in June. Yeah, so that's all of June. I have read a couple of books already this month. I'm just about to start, I don't have it on me, but I've just finished well, I read Red in the Holly Library, and then I finished Powerless and Reckless. literally read Reckless in like one day. It was so good, and I was just like sat there all last night thinking, I don't even want to start another book because I just want to go back to the world. But we've got to wait till April next year for the next book. Kind of really hope she does another like mini novella one in between, like a 2.5, like powerful. I don't think she will, but she might. And also I kind of really want Mac to come back into the picture, because I feel like Mac would be a nice person to have in the series still. And we don't know what actually happened to him after Regina died, so he just sort of like cried outside the bar. Where did he go from there? What happened? You know, is he still in the slums, or is he in, did he leave like he had originally planned to with Hera? I don't know, but anyway, not the point. I'm about to start Two Sides to Every Murder today, which I think was on my TBR. I don't really know. I've sort of given up with my TBR this month, to be honest. I don't even remember what was on it. I didn't write it down anywhere. And I've got so many pretty books, and I feel like really ill today, and I'm not quite sure, like my throat hurts and my nose sort of is really itchy. But yeah, that is it from me. That is our June wrap up, and I think I'm gonna do in the next couple of weeks, I'm gonna do a read throughout the week with me. So like whenever I pick up my book, I'm just gonna like let you guys know where we're at, what we're doing, how much we're reading, that sort of thing. I don't know how much we'll actually get to read next week, purely because, sorry, itchy armpit. Yeah, purely because I think, I mean, I'm not in the office, but at the same time I think I've got like a lot going on next week work-wise, so I have a feeling I'll be working through my lunch a bit, so I won't get lunchtime readings done. And also on Saturday next week I'm getting my hair done. We're going a bit more natural, because I don't know if you can tell, I can't bother to get my roots done, and honestly kind of not digging the blonde anymore. So we're going a bit more natural, and we're actually going to the hairdressers. It's been about 5 years since I've been to a hairdresser's, so she said it's going to take a minimum of 3 hours. So maybe I'll be able to read then, but I won't be recording it because I'm not reading in a hair salon. I'm not as brave as other people out there. So that is it for today, and I will see you soon.